My addiction is eating couch cushions.
Now it's time to put a stop to it.
It makes me sick to eat it, but I'm still eating it.
The biggest risk that you're running is you can get something called a B-zor. That's a serious situation.
I don't want to lose her.
I love to wear fursuits.
We're in public. You keep that in the house.
I get a lot of weird looks.
She thinks she can only have fun while she's hiding behind the mask. That's crazy.
How would you say you feel about yourself?
My self-esteem isn't the best.
My name's Adele. I'm 30 years old. I'm from Bradenton, Florida. And my addiction is eating couch cushions. My earliest memory of eating cushion, I was about 10 years old, and my cousin, we were in his room, and he's like, try this. On a daily basis, I probably eat about an 8.5 by 11 piece of cushion. I just take little bite-sized pieces and snack on it all day. Sometimes I'll just go on like a binge where I'll just keep going for like 20, 25 minutes straight of just eating cushion. I love couch cushion. The way it sits in my mouth, it's soft and it's a good taste. The darker cushion, the yellow cushion that tastes better. It just has a stronger flavor. This is the damage that I've done so far. I have all this too, like all this is gone. I do only eat cushion in private. I'll go in the bathroom and go in my room or something and just eat it. I couldn't control my parents. I couldn't stop them from splitting up. So there was just a lot that I couldn't control, and this was something that I could. Growing up, I would find pretty much anything with cushion. My mom had dresses with shoulder pads. I got to all her dresses and ate all her shoulder pads. My mom found out about my addiction to cushion when I was about 16 years old.
They run some tests on her, and when they came back with the pathology report, she was completely obstructed. I couldn't believe it.
A bowel obstruction is something that can be very serious. It could build up pressure and the bowel can open up and spill the contents inside the body, lead to infection, and the person can die.
So now you're 30, and when you were 16, I tolerated it. And now it's time to put a stop to it.
It's controlling me. You know, I can't say no. I can't stop, so.
Well, that's like a drug. Knowing that she's eating cushion all day makes me sick to my stomach. It took everything I had to keep from crying. If something was to go wrong, do you know what guilt I would feel? That is like taking a loaded gun and saying, I know that you're going to pick it up and shoot yourself, and I'm not stopping you.
I'm not very comfortable with telling, people about my addiction to cushion. It really is out of control. I'm to the point where I don't feel good. I'm sick, and it makes me sick to eat it, but I'm still eating it. Enough is enough. I'm done. I want this to be over, and I want help.
I'll be there for you 24 hours a day, 1, 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. If you need to talk to me, you know where I am. I'll be there for you. As a mom, I'm so worried. I'm about ready to pack my stuff and move in with Adele. I don't want to lose her.
My name is Lauren. I'm 19 years old. I'm a college student. And I love to wear fursuits. My persona does play a part in my daily life, going out and just having a good time. When I wear gear in public, I definitely get a lot of weird looks.
Lauren's always been a real creative person. All of a sudden, one day she came and said, Mom, you want to give me some money so I can start buying some fur and making these suits? And that's how it came to be.
This is my fursona Kira. She is my first fursona I've made. She is a fox. Normally, I'm kind of shy, but Kira lets me bring out my more outgoing and talkative side. If I'm ever having a bad day, putting on the suit and just going out will definitely end the day in a good note.
Lauren, as a kid, was really outgoing, totally not shy. When her dad died, that's when things started to go downhill for Lauren. After that, she became introverted. She barely squeaked by in high school.
I became antisocial and shy and just really stayed in my shell. I just felt kind of lost after that.
I'll get up in the middle of the night and I'll see her working on her fursuits. She'll half-heartedly look for a job and then it's back to the fursuits again. She's going to school just to pacify me. She tends to only have time for fur.
It's not uncommon that people who will wear these furry animal costumes are really avoiding some major issues about their own self-esteem, their own perceived inadequacy, and so they may be wanting to hide something about themselves.
I started getting into the furry fandom about 2 years ago, and now it's definitely like on my mind pretty much all the time. Furry fandom is a very large community. It's full of people who wear fursuits and who just love either creating them, wearing them, drawing them, or just looking at them. There is a darker side to the fandom where it does involve fetishes.
A person can get engrossed in this, and sometimes you don't really realize that you're on that road. And as a mom, that's what I think I'm here to stop.
Right now, it's the whole setting. It's just kind of a little nerve-wracking.
We're going to look down into her stomach to see if there's any retained cushion.
It's weird walking around with these things on. That's what scares me.
If anyone were to try and stop me, I wouldn't stop.
My name's Adele, and my addiction is eating couch cushions. The back of the cushion and the corners, they seem to have the flavor that I like. They taste different from the rest, like the inside, like the wider cushion is just not to my liking. I'm at the doctor's office today, super nervous. It's been 14 years since the last time I've seen a doctor about eating cushion.
So when you said you're having pain, where are you having the pain?
Right in here on the sides. Right now it's actually kind of tender too. It's normally right in here.
I'm just going to listen to your stomach real quick here. Okay. From a medical perspective, the biggest risk that you're running by continuing to eat the foam is we can get something called a bezoar, when the substance gathers together in the stomach and it grows and grows and grows.
Right now it's the whole setting. It's just kind of a little nerve-wracking.
We're going to look down into her stomach to see if there's any retained cushion. And this is the inside of her stomach. Open, close, open, close. So this is all her small intestine right here. It all looks normal. There's no foam or anything in here. I still think we should get some further imaging because you do have the constipation and You know, it's likely once it passes out of your stomach, it should continue to pass through. But like we talked about earlier, if it does ball up somewhere else, you're going to get an obstruction somewhere. We really need to get you focused on changing your lifestyle, okay? I'm not certain if Adele realizes how lucky she is. The worst case scenario would be she gets a bowel obstruction, she perforates her intestine, she gets septic, and she gets extremely ill.
My name is Lauren, and I love to wear fursuits. My persona's name is Kira. When I put on the suit, it brings me out of my shell. It makes me want to be more playful. It definitely kind of takes over. Turn around, please. So let's see with mask on.
When Lauren first told me about the whole furry fandom, I really thought it was bizarre. We started talking about making me a suit. Now that I actually have it, it's really cool. I've loved the way it turned out.
Eric's persona Axel is a green and black hyena. I'm going for a more ferocious look on this one.
It's really good. It fits perfectly.
At the bowling alley with some family and friends, and Chris is here. He's the one who most disapproves of my fursuits, so we'll see what happens.
Hey, Kara, lay the ball on the ground and hit it with your tail.
Chris is my cousin. When my father passed away, he definitely became sort of a father figure to me. He thinks that the furry fandom is really weird.
We're in public. Keep that in the house. I'm not right or wrong.
Andrew is my little cousin, and he's 8 years old, and every time he sees me or sees one of my fursuits, he always begs me to make him one. But his dad really doesn't want him getting into something like this.
He thinks that they're the coolest things, and he wants one. And there is no way in hell Chris is going to let his son Andrew walk around with any fur, anything.
I think it's a little ridiculous, especially in a public place. I think it's pretty out there. It's weird walking around with these things on. That's what scares me. How we doing, my furry friend?
Good.
Why do you wear these stuff?
Fun.
Fun?
Yeah.
Even out in public? When her father died, she did go into a shell for years. And I guess this is her way out.
I think Lauren is addicted to the fursuits. I'm concerned that she thinks she can only have fun while she's hiding behind the mask.
If anyone were to try and stop me, I wouldn't stop.
While I was having pain, I was still eating it. It's so crazy to me.
Obviously, now you have a problem.
I'm not sure she's grasping how far she's gotten into this thing.
It's not taking over my life.
It is taking over your life.
My name is Lauren. I'm 19 years old, and I love to wear fursuits. When people try and deter me from going out in public with my fursuit, I just shrug it off. I wouldn't give it up just because of what somebody else thinks. Me and my family are here at Starved Rock, and I decided to bring my Kira costume. I know my mom doesn't really like it when I dress up as Kira on family outings, but I just couldn't resist.
I love seeing her being playful and having fun. I wish it wasn't with the fursuit.
You want to go down the trail?
Yeah. We'll find a little woodsy place to go.
See how people react.
On the hike, me and Eric decided to go and play tag in the woods. We definitely had a lot of people stopping and staring. A few comments. I just shrug it off.
I don't know what she's doing on that tree.
Well, I think they're pretty crazy for doing it.
It's crazy. I'm not quite sure she's grasping how far she's gotten into this thing. I'm a little concerned how far this is going to go.
I think my mom doesn't really understand the whole concept of it. I think she thinks too deep into it.
You know, could you take that mask off so we could talk? I can't look at you with that on. Or I'm just really kind of worried about where you're going with this. I'm afraid that you're taking it to something that's beyond a hobby.
Of course, it's always going to be there, but it's not going to take over. It's just a hobby. It's really fun.
You can't have fun without being in a fur head?
I can, but I mean, this is just another way to have fun.
Okay, here's my thought. Ever since Daddy died, you like totally shut down. I'm thinking that there may be a big connection between losing her dad and the fursuits. I know from my own experience, I had to be pushed into living again. And I'm just afraid that either you're hiding behind this or you're using this as a way to have permission to go on.
It's completely harmless. I mean, it's not taking over my life.
It is taking over your life. You're up till all hours of the night. You don't have a job. I don't know what this is all about. I don't know if it's harmless. I was just wondering if you'd be on board, if you would go and talk to somebody about it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see anything wrong with it, but I mean, sure.
Good. Okay, that's all I ask.
My name's Adele, and my addiction is eating couch cushions.
All right, open. Close.
So I had an endoscopy at the doctor's office. The doctor told me that there was no damage to my stomach, so I was very happy about that. The doctor recommended I see a therapist, so I'm here to see Dr. Stern today.
What brings you to therapy now? After so long?
A couple weeks ago, I was just in so much pain, like in tears. It was hurting so bad. And while I was having pain, I was still eating it. It's so crazy to me.
Obviously, now you have a problem. You're experiencing health issues, you're concerned, and you're ready to do something about it, which is the only way to treat addiction.
I feel like maybe it might possibly have something to do with when my parents split up. I feel like when I started eating it, it was my secret and nobody can take it from me.
Sometimes this has a lot to do with stuffing feelings down, if you know what I'm talking about. When you're feeling stressed, maybe that's how you're dealing with it.
I've never really thought of it that way, but now that she's saying it, all my feelings that I didn't express to other people, I just wanted to weigh them down, push them down, and that's just how I've been dealing with life for the past 20 years.
We may have some work to do on addressing then old feelings, current feelings, because this is a psychological disorder that is going to be remedied with the help of other people and by being in therapy. If Adele can't break this habit, I really worry about her physical health.
She's totally crazy with this fursuiting thing.
How would you say you feel about yourself?
My self-esteem isn't the best.
The suit is definitely a way of coping.
The moment I saw a fursuit, I thought I could definitely do this, and I decided to create one.
I think Lauren would do well by seeing a therapist. I have people that think she's totally crazy with this fursuiting thing. Maybe they'll get my old Lauren back.
I'm pretty interested to see what a therapist has to say about this. It's completely harmless. I don't think I'd be stopping anytime soon.
You enjoy being a part of the furry community. I'm not extremely familiar with the community of furries, so would you tell me a little bit about that?
I made what are called fursonas.
Fursonas?
Yes.
So like fur and persona.
Yes.
Okay, fursonas.
The suit I recently made, her name is Kira. She's kind of the more outgoing side of my personality, just amplified.
Would she be the life of a party? Would she be...
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. How would you say you feel about yourself?
My self-esteem isn't, I wouldn't say it's the best. I used to be pretty outgoing, but it's been kind of declining lately, like since my dad passed away.
For Lauren, the suit is definitely a way of coping. It's a layer of protection. It's a barrier between herself and the world.
I notice if I ever fail, I immediately beat myself down and I just quit whatever I'm doing.
Would you say that designing these costumes helps with that? Would you say that you feel a sense of, wow, look what I've created, this is awesome?
It does. My mom always puts it I'm good at what I want to do.
Mm-hmm. She is working on these suits in a way that I'm not sure many people could say they're dedicated to anything to the extent she is. And when you think about self-esteem, think about all the other wonderful things you're able to accomplish. And it doesn't hurt to look for some reminders.
Yeah.
Hanging an A+ paper on the refrigerator, while it sounds a little childish in a way, it's a reminder of what you're capable of doing.
My addiction to cushion through the years has definitely progressed. It comforted me to eat the cushion. It was just something that I can control, I guess, that was on my terms.
Her parents split up when she was 10 years old, and this is when this disorder started. I imagine that there's more stuff going on that she's not quite in touch with yet. Are you willing to do some things, some behavioral things, to get going in the process of starting to heal?
Oh, definitely.
I'd like you to start journaling every day. I'd like you to address every time you ate cushion, what the feelings were associated at that moment.
I know it's going to be a process, but I really feel good about, just starting this, and hopefully we'll get through this journey together.
That takes a lot of guts to take this leap.
I want a new outcome. I want a new start. I don't want to keep doing the same thing over. It's been 20 years already. I'm going to do whatever I need to do.
I don't see myself stopping being in the furry fandom or wearing my fursuits. It's definitely a very rewarding experience for me, and I just love doing it, so I will definitely be continuing this.
Did the therapist have any worries about the suits?
She didn't have any concerns, just making sure that I just don't completely dive into it and get lost into it. I assured her I wouldn't. I know I won't, so.
I'm glad you went to see her.
It was a really good experience.
Lauren's got a good head on her shoulders, and I'm hoping she doesn't get into this like a person could. I just want Lauren to feel comfortable with herself.